since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio with your hosts, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Peña, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 1312. This is your host, Danny Peña, and also joining me for this special episode, we have Paris Lilly. Paris, what's up?
What is going on, man? I am looking forward to this episode.
Yes, Paris. I've been waiting 13 years for this. 13 years. And you know, I've been talking about this game for months. Since the announcement during the Game Awards.
Oh, I know.
So I am so pumped. Yeah,
you and my thumb are huge fans of this game.
All right. Now we're gonna be reviewing my most anticipated game of 2023, Alan Wake 2. We're gonna be talking about the PC version. I just recently got the PlayStation 5 version, so I'm playing it too. But I'll talk to you about that in the future. But right now we're gonna be talking about the PC version. Paris, you only have the PC version, correct?
Correct. PC version.
Awesome. So shout out to Epic Games, Remedy Games, and also Tarabuna PR for giving us an opportunity to get this game early, and we're going to be talking about it here in the podcast. Now, there's no spoilers. We're going to be just talking about our experience, little things about the game, like a little bit of the story, so at least you have an idea about it, but the actual important stuff we're not mentioning here on the show because I really want people to just experience this and that's it, you know. So, but get hype because we have a lot of things to say, man. But first, head over to gamertagradio.com. Listen to our past episodes. Also, you can find us on any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio. We're there. Follow, subscribe, and also post your review. Also, we're gonna have weekly polls that is only going to be available on Spotify. So the last poll, Paris, was a very interesting one. I asked, are you interested in Super Mario Brothers Wonder? So 12.5% said maybe. 16.7% said no. And 70.8% says yes. What are your thoughts about that, Paris?
I'm not surprised. Seems about right.
Game is so good too, man.
Oh, dude, bro, it's so good. This year is insane. It really is.
It is insane.
Yeah, it really is. That, like, you know, I knew it before it even came out. Was like, oh, this will be a Game of the Year contender. It's a Game of the Year contender, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
It is, because I wasn't on the last episode, so I'll just throw my 2 cents in. It is one of the best 2D platformers I have ever played. I put it right up there with Mario 3 and Super Mario World. It's that damn
Hands
good.
Down.
It's that damn
Hands
good.
Down. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And here's the thing: before we talk about Alan Wake 2, it is rare to see that for like a 2D Mario game. It's very, very rare. Like, you remember when you playing this game, Mario Brothers 2, for the first time, like, oh man, it looks different than 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Mario 3 was like the big game changer, and it was very, very difficult, by the way. And then when Super Mario World popped up, it was a complete game changer again. And then it was years that there wasn't really anything new with the 2D side until this game. And you're correct. It looks so good. The animation is good. There's levels as it gets really, really difficult later on in the game. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
But speaking of Game of the Year contenders, I think we should jump in and start talking about Alan Wake 2, right?
Woo! Now Paris. My question to you before I start this, man. have you played any Remedy games or like finish it or just like play a little bit?
Control would be the one that I've done in more recent time that I've played from start to finish. Quantum Break, I did not finish. Alan Wake was so long ago. I was a one and done. Like that was it. I just played it once and that was it. So again, when you talk about 13 years, it's been 13 years since I've returned to the world of Alan Wake. So to me, in a way, Alan Wake 2 is damn near a brand new game. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be diving into a lot of that here in just a second.
No, and that's good. It's good that you're kind of experienced Alan Wake for the first time, basically, because the first one was so long ago, you're not going to remember anything like that. But so you're more of like, I'm learning the story while playing 2. For me, because I played every Remedy game, this is like a plus for me. Now that I know the story, all the Easter eggs and all the lore, it's going to make the experience even crazier for me because I know a lot about the story. You know what I'm saying? So for those that never played Alan Wake 1, and this is a brief story where Alan Wake is a well-known writer. So at the time, he was living in New York City with his wife, Alice. And there was a time that, he was writing a book. I forgot to mention. He had a series about a detective that his name is Alex Casey. So at that time when I played Alan Wake 1, this is during the time where Max Payne, they sold the rights to Rockstar. Remedy were the original creators of that. So when I got to play Alan Wake and I got to see that part, it felt like they were saying, we're moving on. This is the end of Max Payne. Now we're going to work on something else. When you play the game, it hinted kind of like that. So in there, he killed the character, like Alan Wake kills the character in the writing. And then he had a writer's block. He was really, really well known. And he wanted to take a vacation. His wife's like, hey, let's go to Bright Falls. Let's go over there. Hopefully this will help Alan Wake to maybe come up with ideas of like new writings and all that stuff. So they went over there. His wife disappeared. And then Alan Wake also disappeared after that. So Alan Wake hasn't been around for 13 years. Nobody knows what happened to him. So there's people that've been like trying to research to see what happened with Alan and everything. So you have to play part 1, and you also have to try out, and this is like a smaller game, American's Nightmare. This is also a smaller game that came out for Xbox Live Arcade. At that time, it was an exclusive for Xbox. So highly recommend it. Also, Quantum Break is really good. I know Parris mentioned that. And Control, my favorite game of that year. Very important because there's a lot of stuff in that game that relates to everything that's happening here in Alan Wake. So just wanted to say that very, very quick. But I'll say this, Parris. I finished the game. I have like maybe 20-something hours total. And I think I messaged this to you and a couple of people. Also, shout out to Britt from What's Good Games. We've been talking about it too. I think this is a masterpiece, in my opinion. I haven't played a game like this ever. Especially this year, there's been so many fantastic games. Parris, right? The thing that I love about this, it feels beyond game. Just like the performance, the story, the soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks I've heard in any game of this year, period. Because one thing that Remedy is really good at is when you finish an episode, a chapter of Alan Wake, it's like the first game was kind of like a TV show where you finish the first episode, then when you come back in the second episode, it says previously on Alan Wake and the show, all that stuff, right? But when it finished the episode, they have like a song that relates to everything that happened there. It's something like that similar to part 2, but the only difference is there is no previously on Alan Wake. It's just you finish chapter 1, then chapter 2, stuff like that. Also, now there's 2 characters that you control, which is Saga Anderson. She's an FBI, and also Alan Wake, the writer from the original game. So I think, in my opinion, Parris, this is my my game of the year for me for now. But anything you would like to say about that, and anything else you want to add in?
Well, before I get into all my impressions of Alan Wake 2, we actually have a sponsored segment with NVIDIA, which I think perfectly encapsulates part of my thoughts about Alan Wake 2 from a more of a technical standpoint and a fidelity standpoint. So again, this is sponsored by NVIDIA GeForce. And to your point, like you said earlier, I've been playing on the PC and been playing with the RTX 4090 GPU. And for Alan Wake 2, NVIDIA and Remedy have worked together. They teamed up to deliver not only NVIDIA DLSS 3.5, which features ray reconstruction, a new AI model that creates higher quality images for intensive ray trace games, but they've also added full ray tracing, aka path tracing, which if you know some of our previous sponsored segments with NVIDIA, more specifically Cyberpunk 2077, we've talked about path tracing and just how it was transformative for the visuals and lighting that we've seen in that game. It's doing the exact same thing here with Alan Wake 2. I mean, again, playing on the RTX 4090, I'm playing at 4K. We have DLSS 3.5 enabled, which along with the DLSS frame generation enabled as well, NVIDIA Reflex, the full ray tracing, the path tracing enabled. This game is gorgeous, man. It is just an absolute stunner. It is for what Alan Wake 2 is, being that survival horror, kind of the different lighting and the shadows that you'll have in this type of game. It reproduces it so well. It's fantastic. I absolutely love how this game looks with path tracing on, and you will see the difference if you turn it off and then turn it on. It's like night and day. It really is from a visual standpoint. But then when we also talk about frame generation in DLSS 3.5, there's also two other components that come with this, and that's a performance standpoint as far as, like I said, frame generation. So you're getting more frames out of the game. So as an example, I'm averaging with frame generation on about 100 plus frames per second at 4K. Turn it off, I'm in about the 30 to 40s, 30 to 40 frames per second range. So, I mean, that is a huge boost in performance, right? And again, buttery smooth while you're playing through the game, looks fantastic. But then when you also throw in the path tracing, and part of that is AI generate. It's like they use the denoisers, and there's the AI modeling that comes in there. So basically what it's doing is it's taking an image, because when you do DLSS, you're taking a lower resolution image and you're upscaling it to a higher resolution with the super resolution and things like that, right? So when you do that, the image isn't going to be as perfect as it would be at its normal resolution. So now with these denoisers and the AI scaling that they're doing in here, they're improving the image quality as well. So you're getting higher image quality, you're getting more performance as well. Throw in the path tracing, so the full ray tracing, the reflection, the lightings, the shadows, all of that just adds up to just an absolute visual showcase. And we have Remedy working with NVIDIA to thank for that, delivering this with DLSS 3.5 and path tracing in this game. Again, it is phenomenal. If you play on PC and you have an RTX NVIDIA GeForce GPU, you're going to be in for a treat. You're going to be in for an absolute treat. And Danny, you've also been playing on PC. So it's what's been some of your experiences with it?
I could tell you this, Parris, because I have a 4090. Personally, for me, this has to be the best looking game I've ever seen in my life. I'm keeping it real, man. Like I know we talked about Cyberpunk before, like how impressive how it looks. My God, Parris, this looks so good. I mean, the detail when you look at the water, the environment. Let's say in the forest when you're walking around, bright falls. When you see enemies, also the lighting in this game, which is very important, by the way, very important in this game, where you could also attack enemies by showing them the light, similar to like the original game. It looks so good. So Parris, I I turned everything on. I'm gonna go all out. I just want to see the difference because I was playing this without that feature because I just wanted to see how it is. And then Parris, when I turned it on, oh my God, the difference.
Yeah, it's night and day. It's literally night and day. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Even this, guys, because I know there's the video was released a couple of days ago where NVIDIA was also showing those features. Everybody was saying the same thing. This is one of the best looking games they've seen with that. It's a plus. It makes the experience even better because look, I love horror games. You know, especially me, Parris. I have that widescreen. My God, it looks amazing. It looks so good.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. And again, it's just the dynamic lighting that's happening when you're doing the full ray tracing and the ray reconstruction that's happening with path tracing on and DLSS 3.5. Again, it just absolutely enhances what is already, again, we're going to talk about it more here in just a second, but what is already an amazing game in Alan Wake 2. This just, from a visual and a performance standpoint, just takes it to another level. It's, to me, and again, look, this is a sponsor segment. You know, we full disclosure on that. You guys always get it that, yes, this is a sponsor segment, but I can tell you right now, sponsored or not, I am so excited to see the future of what this technology is going to be able to do. I'm very excited to see more games take advantage of this path tracing. We now have two prime examples with Cyberpunk 2077 and now here with Alan Wake 2 that shows you what the future potential of this is going to be. And then again, you're putting in DLSS with this that just increases your performance. You're able to play at higher resolution, higher frames, and still get that quality experience, you know, that you're looking for. So again, it's funny because, leading up to Alan Wake 2, and again, this is a sponsor segment by NVIDIA. We want to thank NVIDIA GeForce for this opportunity. But just as we talk more into the actual game here itself, it's funny because, like I said before, I played the first one 13 years ago. Barely remember it. I obviously understand the setting, who Alan Wake is, things like that. But I have to admit, I was skeptical coming into this. I really was.
Interesting.
Yeah. And again, we've done the preview and all that. The preview sold me when we did the preview. But coming even before that preview, I was a little skeptical. I was like, has it really been too long? Is this going to matter now? Am I going to care? It's been so long. Is anyone that didn't play the first one, are they going to care about this? Is this going to work? Should Remedy have just done a Control 2 or something, right? This is how I was thinking coming into this. But Danny, I have to tell you, we sat down for that preview. And then now being here at home, being able to just play the full game, they've taken what on paper with the original Alan Wake, which I thought was an interesting story idea, and they've transformed it into the survival horror experience, which, speaking of Brett, I always joke around about like Resident Evil stuff like that's not really my thing. Alan Wake 2 is my thing. It absolutely is. I love this format. I love the story, the way the story is unfolding. And I love that, Alan Wake is there, but you're introduced into this world via Saga, so which I think was a genius idea by Remedy to do that, because it didn't matter if you played Alan Wake, the first Alan Wake, or not. She's our entry point into this world, and you're seeing it through her eyes. So as she's trying to, I'm like, who the hell is this Alan Wake dude? Like, as she's trying to figure it out, I'm like, who the hell is this Alan Wake dude? So it's like you're figuring it out, and just the whole mystery of everything that's going. Using her detective skills and problem solving, like the case board comes up and you have to put all the clues together and the investigative part of it. I love that of the game. I really do, because I feel like I'm slowly but surely unraveling this mystery, and I can't wait to see what's around the next corner. Right. And then again, you bring in the survival horror aspect of it. There were some moments there I'm like, oh, okay. I was not ready for that, kind of stuff. Right. Very well done. And then when you flip it over into the Alan Wake side of it, and you're seeing it, him and I forget the exact name of it, but basically the world that he's in right now. Right?
The dark place.
Thank you. In the dark place. Love that aspect of it as well. But for me, I enjoy playing as Saga, because I think that is going to be the way that most people are going to be able to relate to this world of Alan Wake in this Alan Wake, this Remedy universe that, you know, all of it's a part of. She's the entry point into this. And I think her unraveling the story as it unfolds, it just makes sense from a narrative standpoint. But then you have the overall Alan Wake and everything that he's bringing into it, the legacy stuff from the first game and all of that. So I love it. I absolutely love it. And I will say, because I'm being, you know, I just got to keep it 100 when I talk about it. I think this is probably going to wind up being on the Game of the Year list. I do. I think it's that good. And as people are listening to this, I will encourage you, please give this game a chance, because I think it will absolutely be worth your time. But as I've said on previous episodes, I am concerned about this release window. I hope enough people give this game a chance and pick it up and try it, because I want to see Remedy get all the success and the accolades that they're going to deserve out of this game, because it's very well done. It really is. Now, I have not played on console, so I don't know about anything as far as performance goes on console, be it the Xbox or the PlayStation. But on PC, very minimal issues, bugs, a couple pop-ins here or there. Matter of fact, there was an update that came out today, which I think might have fixed some of those issues. But I mean, just from a gameplay standpoint, from a story standpoint, from a narrative standpoint, this is phenomenal. It is. And kudos to Remedy, kudos to Sam Lake and everyone on that team for what they've been able to craft and create. And, you know, Remedy's always been great with mixing in game with real life kind of stuff. You know what I mean? They've always been really good at that.
In-game, like the action footage.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they've really nailed it here with Alan Wake 2. They've done a phenomenal job of that. And again, no spoilers or whatever, but yeah, you're going to enjoy this. This is something you'll want to immerse yourself into from a story standpoint for sure. Absolutely love it.
You know what? I think for me, I think this is by far Remedy's best work yet. And again, I still see this as a masterpiece, because I have never experienced a game like this, Parris. Like, I love horror games. I don't jump. I don't get scared at all. You know, I played, Resident Evil, played a bunch of scary games that I love, right? But this is the first game that actually made me jump a couple times.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it is, right? And another thing too, like when you play the original Alan Wake, it was more fast-paced, and because that was the style of that game, it wasn't considered a horror game. With this one, it is a horror game, so the pacing is going to be a little bit slower, but I felt like it was right, like the way how the game mechanics, even when you play Saga, because Saga, she's still in the real world, like you said, Alan is still in the dark place. And two different environments, but they were both scary. Saga, from Saga's side, it was more of like, what is this? Who's Alan Wake? Why this person died? What's going on? Like, she has a lot of questions. And the reason why I like more Alan Wake is because I already experienced the first game, so I know about Alan. So playing his side of the game, there was a lot of new game mechanics using his. Like, there's a lot of puzzles and stuff that you're going to be switching a lot of places, a lot of scenes, because I don't want to mention a lot of things, but there's a lot of puzzles that you need to figure out with Alan Wake. So, like, for example, with Saga, it's more of mystery, problem solving. She's trying to figure out who's who, right? When you go to the mine place. When you go and play Alan, you're going to go to the writer's room. And in there, you're going to do a totally different game mechanic that is not from Saga side. And it's more how it relates to Alan Wake, which makes a lot of sense. That's one. Another thing, too, is in the first game, it was just creepy in certain areas. This one is 100% horror. And when you play the game, it makes sense why this game is a horror game. Without spoiling it, it makes so much sense. And I was very surprised, like, Remedy are the only ones that could come up with something like this, man. So this is really, really good. And I'm trying to figure out if there was anything else that I want to add in there. Oh yeah, the live action mixed with the game together when you play both characters. You're walking around and you will see videos while you're walking in the game. You see like in game of like either Alan talking to you or just random creatures, species, like it was just weird stuff that would just pop up on the screen. And just the timing is so good, man. It's very, very loud. I don't know about you, Parris, but I play this with lights off, using my new speakers and the new gaming PC. And I have also a high-end computer, so I went all the way up, Parris, with the new features of NVIDIA RTX. That overall made the experience even better for me, bro. Like I truly, truly love this game. It's like it stood out to me more than any other game that I played this year. It's because just the story, the soundtrack, the performances from the voice actors in this. Amazing job. Even Sam Lake is in the game, which he did an amazing job. Just
he was good. Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he was really good.
Really good, man.
Yeah.
And put it this way, Parris, like there was even times where Ree sat down next to me because she was like, look, I'm not going to play this game. I just want to see it. And she was like, oh, this is wild. I'm like, yep. And you need to play the full game. There's a moment in the game that remind me so much of Control that I was like, wow, this is sick. Goosebumps moments, actually. So I'm not gonna say anything more than that, but it's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. But it's funny, like you talk about when you were playing it with, lights off and all that. You remember when I was playing this mostly?
When?
Like 3:00 in the morning.
Same here.
Playing it. So it's just dark and you got the headphones on and then you hear like a little rustling in the back, like, oh, what is that? What's going on? Oh yeah, it was good. Really good.
Oh, by the way, I played this on the PlayStation 5 version. It looks great. It looks really, really good. I played it now for a couple hours. Still playing as Saga, and it looks great on PS5. I haven't tried out the Xbox version, so I don't know much how that version looks. Hopefully, we'll get to see it later. But the game looks amazing, man. Amazing. Again, best looking game I've seen in a long time, man. Best Remedy game ever. More than Control. And I love Control.
Yeah, I love Control. Yeah, they did a phenomenal job with this. It's again, it's really good. Kudos to Remedy for all the work that they put into this. Like I said, I came into it a little skeptical, but that preview sold me when we got hands on with that, and then just this final version. Yeah, this is a fantastic game.
Now, I do want to mention a couple of things where there's a post-launch. There's going to be some stuff coming up. So there's going to be a new Game Plus, and it's known as the Final Draft. It should land about a month after release or so. And this one is going to retain all unlock weapons, charms, and words of power upgrades. Words of power, Parris. So for those that don't know what that is with Alan, you're going to be finding out some puzzles where you have to search that in the dark place, where you're going to use your flashlight, and there might be arrows, and they will tell you where to go and use your flashlight. So when you use that, it will unlock a words of power, and that will help you to upgrade Alan for like your weapons that you have in the game.
Right.
Yeah. So that will pop up randomly in the game, only on Alan Wake's side, in the dark place. Right. So there is also a new nightmare difficulty level that's coming up too. New alternative narrative, including 6 new manuscript pages and a new video content that's going to be in there. So, for example, guys, so when you walk around with Saga in Bright Falls or any other place located in the game, there is some moments where you're going to walk around and you'll see a TV that is on, and it will unlock like new videos. Like, it's really, really interesting. Like, there's one moment, I'm not going to say what it is exactly, but it was like a good 10 minutes long. I stayed there just looking at it. It was very, very interesting. And it was well done. Those videos usually are live action. So it's a lot of cool stuff. Plus, I heard this from Remedy. There's going to be some surprises after the new Game Plus and the post-launch, all that stuff. And there's going to be 2 expansions that's coming out. The first one is going to be called, expansion 1 is called Night Springs. For those that remember from the first game, Night Springs was a TV series that was written by Alan Wake, and it's a really weird, creepy TV show that you also got to watch it, and you find it all over the game in part 1. So, and these are live action videos. The second expansion is called Lake House, and don't know much about it, but it's going to come out post-launch. So the first one, I think, in 2024, late spring, and the second one, no time yet. So, yep. So, anything else, Parris? Anything else from, or any questions?
No, I mean, I think that's it. I think, the message to take out of all of this is Alan Wake 2 is a phenomenal game, and go play it. It is going to be worth your time.
Yes, and I'll say this. There's so many Easter eggs, guys. So many Easter eggs. If you see someone or find something in the game, grab your phone, type it in, because it relates to a lot of the games that Remedy have worked on in the past. Lots of those. So it's very important because it will help you to learn more about the Remedy universe, and hopefully this will get you into the universe, and maybe you will go and try out their previous games that got released. So make sure to play all those games, because those are truly all gems. Even Quantum Break, all of them was really, really good. Even Max Payne, if you guys are, fans of the first 2 games, go try it out. Go try it out. So, no, I just want to say, man, thank you so much once again to Remedy for sending us early copies of this game. It's been a truly honor, man, to play this, man. I've been waiting for this for 13 years, bro. 13 years. It got me excited again, man, to play. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to do another round. I probably will play the PlayStation 5 version and Xbox version just back to back. And I played Alan Wake so many times. I just love that game so much. Actually, Alan Wake, the first Alan Wake, is my favorite Xbox 360 game, period. There's no other game that tops that. This one is up there, Parris, for this generation for me.
Yeah.
It's pretty up there. So it's going to be different for everybody else, but same for me, so. And that's about it. Parris, you want to say anything else? Oh, thank you to not Remedy, NVIDIA for sponsoring this episode of Gamertag Radio. It was a lot of fun getting access to these new features, right, Parris? Before it came out?
Yeah, and let me say one other thing that I forgot to mention earlier. So
Sure.
Look in the future. This might not happen until 2024 at this point, but we want it even on this episode, but we're going to do it next opportunity we get to actually have somebody on from NVIDIA to kind of talk more about the DLSS technology and talk about path tracing and partnering up, with some of these development studios to get it integrated into their games. Because I think that's definitely a conversation. Look, we can talk about it as novices and, just our experience, but it'd be good to hear it from the source themselves. So look in the future. We definitely want to get a representative from NVIDIA GeForce on the show to talk more about these technologies that's happening in these RTX GPUs. Because again, DLSS 3.5, along with the path tracing, the ray reconstruction, the frame generation, it's phenomenal. It is a game changer in performance for gaming that I think we are 100% going to see more and more, as the years and the months go by.
Definitely, man. So Can't wait for that interview. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Great conversation. I think I want to talk to them about how was it working with Remedy and how they make this thing happen, man, for the game. Also, one last thing I would say, guys, get ready, prepare yourself for the prologue. It is mind blowing. That's what I'll say. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to Gamertag Radio, episode 1312. Parris. What an amazing year, Parris. Oh, my God. And there's still 2 months left. 2 months left, man.
It's insane, dude. This has just been a crazy. Like this is how I think about it. Because, the comparisons are going to come to 1998, 2007, as examples, right? Imagine if, look, GTR was around back then as far as a podcast goes, but, Twitter had just been starting. Imagine if we had social media and just the way we're all connected now, like in 2007. And I just wonder what the conversations would have been like for like a lot of those games that came out then. Because right now, I'm telling you now, whatever gets nominated for Game of the Year for Keighley, somebody's going to be mad. And it's going to be valid because there's going to be a game that is not going to be on that Game of the Year list that should be, because that's just how good this year is.
Yeah,
it's insane.
You're right.
It's insane.
You're right.
It's absolutely insane how good this year
is. It's going to be the most difficult Game of the Year.
Yes, it is.
Discussion this year.
Danny, I'm
down.
telling you now, whatever they announce wins Game of the Year, you're going to have people upset. They'll be like, that
no
one?
matter what.
No matter what. It does not matter. It does not matter what wins. Someone's going to be like, man, that shouldn't have won. This should have won. And they're going to be right. And they're going to be right because that's how good it is. This year's insane. Absolutely insane.
Hey, man, it's good to see that in gaming, man.
Yeah.
Really good to see that.
Yep.
So. All right, one. Until next time, we're out. Take care. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.